What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? In this video, I'm going to show you the best time to call life insurance leads. Now, you're probably clicked on this video because maybe you're struggling with answer rate, or you're just not really getting the amount of people to pick up the phone that you really need to or want to in order to make the income that you're trying to make. Well, this video, I'm going to break down and show you exactly when the best times are to call and why they are the best times to call. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is I kind of want to show you guys what somebody's schedule actually looks like so that you can kind of see when our chance to sell them kind of fits in. Hopefully that makes sense. So first off, I'm going to start with a final expense prospect, right? So this is a final expense prospect, or I mean, they're just a senior. They're a senior. So seniors usually wake up relatively early, anywhere from like 6 to 7 a.m., right? Obviously this depends on the person, but we're just gonna say in general, right? So I'm gonna write out 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? These are all times, right? So 7 a.m., wake up, okay? They wake up at 7. They're probably having some kind of like, breakfast around this time, right? Let's say, be fast. Having breakfast, and then from here to here, usually it's just kind of like free time or doing whatever they need to do, right? Obviously, it depends on the person. Some people will have doctor's appointments or whatever, but usually this time is like doing some kind of like work around the house or watch TV or whatever, right? This is usually kind of like open time to some extent. 8, you're usually still gonna be kind of like a little groggy, a little like in the early wake up period, but around 9 is when things start to really open up, right? So then at around 12, they'll usually have like some kind of a lunch, right? Lunch here. And then what I've found is this spot, like here, tail end of 12, this is usually when people will have like appointments, right? This tends to be the time where people are busy around like 1, 2, 3, particularly with seniors, just with like different things they have going on. Answer rates tend to drop off a cliff around this time, 1, 2, and 3. However, what happens is they do pick back up around 5, 6, 7, and 8 because people are back home. They're home, right? And they're usually relaxed. Maybe they're watching TV or something like that, right? You're gonna have dinner sometime in and around here, which is definitely gonna be like a hindrance to you being able to get people on the phone. But this is basically like their schedule, right? So looking at this, they're waking up, they're eating breakfast, whatever, drinking their coffee. We also have to take into account TCPA, which is why I went just to 8 here. You can call people until 9, but I do not recommend doing that. I usually stop at 8, but you technically can. So what we want to do is we want to find where the time is here. And what I've found is that generally the best times to call final expense is going to be 9 a.m. to 12, like noon, right? 12 noon. And then 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. These are the hot times to call final expense prospects. This is going to be like your best bet in terms of getting people on the phone, right? So final expense is 9 a.m. to 12 noon, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, that's final expense. Now, let's say you're selling, like mortgage protection or something to people that are actively working, right? Let's see if I can erase this without erasing all my numbers. Probably should have planned better here, but we're gonna do our best. There we go, that was pretty good. So with your mortgage protection people, right, this is gonna be a relatively similar schedule with some slight variations, okay? Most people work what's called a 9 to 5, right? Obviously. So from here to here, let me also change where it says final expense seniors. As if we're selling like term, IUL, mortgage protection. I'm just going to say working people, just so you guys can kind of see this. Working people. Working people. Cool. So these people are going to be working in this period of time. Meaning it's going to be kind of hard to get them on the phone and very hard to sell something to them. You know, they're going to wake up around here, right? Same kind of deal. Wake up. I don't know why I wrote it like that, but wake up, breakfast, driving to work, right? When they're driving to work, this is actually a decent time to reach people. When they're on their commute, this is a good time to set appointments for later in the day. But you're not going to sell somebody while they're in the car driving to work. But we can set an appointment to call them later. Same kind of deal, right? They're going to be working. And then somewhere in here, you're going to have lunch break. Right? Lunch break. Now, you actually can make sales during this period, but it's also going to be a good time to set appointments, right? Usually with seniors and for the final expense market, your show rate on appointments is going to be worse than with this demographic, right? It really just depends on the person you're talking to, because some people are terrible at keeping appointments, some people are good. There's people that are working that are terrible at keeping appointments, and there's also people that are, you know, seniors that are great at keeping appointments. So it really depends on the person, but overall, you're going to see a higher show rate when you're selling these products, right? So you can kind of do that 2-call close a little more than you do with final expense. Part of that is also because seniors get way more calls, so your calls are less likely to get answered when you do call them. So lunch break, you could either set an appointment here, or you could probably make a sale here as well. But your best time is going to be after 5 when they get off, in like these windows here, right? This is going to be your like hot zone for answers as well as appointments, like actually running the appointments. This is going to be your hot zone when you're selling to working people. And this is what you'll generally find. Once they get off work, they get home, they're ready to talk about it. Or also, and this is true for both, right? So just to kind of map this out for you guys, like 8 to 9 is going to be really good for like setting appointments. Set. Like 12 to 1 is going to be good for set. And then like 5 to 8 is going to be good for setting and selling, okay? Now, like, again, just so you guys are clear, this does not at all mean that you can't make sales all throughout the day. But if we're saying when are going to be the best times in terms of answers and in terms of like compliance with the prospect complying with you, not like legal compliance, it's going to be this, okay? The other thing too to take into account, right? Not even talking about the time, but the day you call. Saturdays are going to be huge in terms of getting people to answer, getting them on the phone, and getting them to have the time to work with you, right? Oops. So Saturdays are also really good. Saturdays are great. Sundays, not as much. I mean, people will still answer, but they'll sometimes be a little frustrated with you, but Saturdays are a great day to make sales and do different things like that. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, these are the best times to call. Hit the like, subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.